But tonight the college football playoff quarterfinals begin on ESPN. We got Penn State, Boise State, the VRBO Fiesta Bowl, 7:30 Eastern. Tomorrow, Texas, Arizona State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, that's 1 Eastern. Followed by Ohio State and Oregon, a rematch in the Rose Bowl, 5 Eastern. And we cap the action with Notre Dame and Georgia in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Let's dive into all of these, if we can, here with my friends Greg McElroy and Paul Finebaum, who jump in with us here. So, guys, let's start with a game of some hypotheticals, okay? We'll do a little bit of what if. Let's start with tonight's game. Greg, fill in the blank for me here. Penn State will win tonight if what?
If they tackle really well, Greeny. They're going against the best running back in college football, in Ashton Jeanty. He's incredible. He leads the country in missed tackles. He's forced 111 of those this year. And he also has 5 touchdowns that have gone for 70-plus yards. It's the most since LaDainian Tomlinson in 1999. This guy is off the charts good, and he's kind of a one-man wrecking crew. If you can get him to the ground, Penn State, I think, has a really good chance of limiting this offense's explosiveness.
Paul, they call Penn State's coach, James Franklin, Big James, and not in a good way. What would you say is at stake for the coach of the Nittany Lions in this game tonight?
Everything. This would be just an unforgivable loss for a guy who has had a lot of unforgivable losses. Greeny, he usually beats the teams he's supposed to. Only last year, as a favorite, he lost to Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl. But most of the time, when he's an underdog against the very best, you see it. He can't win. And not only can he not win, he loses badly. So a loss tonight would just cement that reputation. Now, what would a win do? It probably wouldn't do all that much because even though he would have 2 playoff wins, they would be against lesser teams. He would need to beat the team next week, which would be Notre Dame or Georgia.
All right, we'll work our way to that one as we go. They're a double-digit favorite tonight, as is Texas tomorrow. Greg, so let's go to that one. Texas, Arizona State. Texas wins if what?
They can contain Cam Skattebo, the running back for Arizona State, much like Ashton Jeanty. If you look at statistically, Cam Skattebo, 1,500 rushing yards, 500 receiving yards. He's the first FBS player in the Power 5 level to do that since Christian McCaffrey in 2015. Pretty good company to be in, I'd say. So you look at just how good Cam Skattebo is. If they can slow him down, Texas is in a great position to win this game comfortably.
Well, so not too many people give Arizona State a chance, but don't tell that to the folks in Tempe. They've been talking some trash there, including their quarterback, Sam Leavitt, who had this to say about his mindset going up against Quinn Ewers and Texas.
You know, people keep counting me out since day one, and you know, I'm gonna go prove I'm the better quarterback. You know, and that's how I feel since day one. So I'm gonna go put everybody on the map.
He's not the only one who's been doing a little bit of trash talking, Sir Paul. How is this resonating with our friends down in the SEC?
Sam, you're not going to prove you're the better quarterback. I've got bad news for you there. Ultimately, he's in real trouble here. I mean, I applaud anybody who talks a good game, but ultimately, Quinn Ewers is still one of the better quarterbacks in the country. He gets overrated a little bit, but this is not going to happen for Sam. Texas should win this game. I think they'll win pretty easily too, Grady.
All right, so let's go to Ohio State, Oregon now. So they're playing in the Rose Bowl, which sounds right to me, because Ohio State and Oregon playing in the Rose Bowl seems to make a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. But Greg, obviously the stakes here are different, so fill in the blank. Ohio State will win this game if what?
If they can run the football, Greeny, and they got to limit the explosive plays. In the first game against Oregon, it was a classic. It was awesome, and I anticipate this one being much of the same. I think things are going to be a little more defensive in this one, more so than it was a shootout. In that game against Oregon, they allowed 9 explosive plays. That's the most Ohio State allowed all season. And after the first quarter, Ohio State really struggled to run the football. Now, they're still going to give their looks to Jeremiah Smith and their elite receiving core, but you got to balance things out against Oregon, who's so well-rounded defensively. So I would anticipate a heavy load from Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. And then that defense, I think they're going to play a little bit more bend, don't break style and not let these receivers for Oregon get behind them.
Cindy, you can put the picks up on the screen because we've got a variety of opinion. How about the Ryan Day of it all, Paul? It's been sort of a lot of noise around that. They won a big game. This is a big game. Where do we stand with all of that?
I think most of it is quieted down. That win over Tennessee being so decisive really helped him. And I think for now, there's always going to be pressure. He could win the national championship and there'd be naysayers in Columbus. But I think for now, he is in better shape. Let me say that. Not great shape, but better shape.
We'll finish it up with Notre Dame and Georgia. Greg is calling that game for us, so we won't get a pick from him on that. So, Paul, I will come to you. What to you is the key? How does Georgia win? Well, Georgia wins this game if what?
Well, I think Georgia has to run the ball very well. Trevor Etienne is healthy for the first time in a while, and I think that really matters. There's a question mark at quarterback. Greg knows that better than anyone because of the loss of Carson Beck. But a powerful running game by Georgia, I think, will be significant. Notre Dame has played extremely well, but they don't have a lot of big wins. Georgia does.
It's going to be a fascinating game. And again, Greg will be on the call for us. That one is tomorrow night, primetime. Guys, thank you very much. We'll check back with you as the morning continues. Looking ahead to tonight, 8 teams remain in college football. By the end of tomorrow, there'll be only 4.